Hello again, it's my turn to come on and share with you my two standard cards. This is the first of my two standard cards. Let me just have a look to see if I can see what you're seeing to make sure that I'm up to in the space and all of the things I need to be. This card makes use of all of the gold ribbon again and the butterflies and the lovely gold details with the super cute open weave ribbon and the gold. My goodness. Sorry, I can't find it. Okay. There we go. I'm good now. I apologize for the wait. Okay. My first standard card makes use of the gold open weave ribbon, the gold beads, and I've added gold detail and used Lost Lagoon as my colour to coordinate with. In your kit, if you've got the kit, you would have got your gold metallic designer paper, which I've already cut out my leaf, which is, I love that leaf. Okay, your scrap paper for die cutting should be in that shape, and you stamp 3 of the leaf details. I have coloured in 1, 2, as you can see. I forgot to fussy cut my thanks. I'll do that in a minute. And then the card. Basic white again. I'll just give that a bit of a score. And my Lost Lagoon. And I am going to try to do a different colour this time. So I did originally have, I guess these have the colours to be those, but if I flip them over, 1, 2, 3, maybe it goes that way, 1, 2, 3, we can use the pinky bluey side. What do we think of that? And then this one for the inside of the card. Now that will look very different, but hopefully not bad. All right. So this is a great way to show off designer series paper, is to just get some strips. I like to do the outside strips first. I find that I find it easier to match up the borders if I do the outside strips first. And then this one's the inside one. Oh, unlike Tracy and Sharon, I am not a fan of green glue because I'm a messy crafter. There we go. There is my panel done. Now the first thing I'm going to do is stick the panel on my card, flat I think. I'm going to add my gold ribbon. Just cut it off just so that it's a little bit longer. And then on the back, flip it over, run my seal down both sides, decide where I want it to be, tie it up, and then just put some extra seal over the top of those bits to sandwich that ribbon in between all of the adhesion, and then pop that on the front of my card. Okay, and then I'll add, I'll tie a knot around my ribbon. No bow this time, just a knot. Knots are nice and easy. And then pop you about there, I think. Lined it up with that 1/3 of my, there we go, it's lined up right with that bit. While I'm sticking paper, I'll stick this one on the inside of my card. This is just to continue the theme. I love, I have to confess I'm a bit lazy in embellishing and decorating my envelopes, but I always like to embellish the inside of my card. There we go. All right, and now we get to put the fun bits on. I left one to colour with you. I've used Lost Lagoon blends this time. This stamp set is so great. You can colour it in so many ways. I like to use the brush tip because it lays down a lot more ink quicker. And a lot more ink, a lot more alcohol, which I find makes it easier to blend. I don't know why. That's just the way I do it. But luckily with all of these things, we all find our own path. And then I'll add my dark Lost Lagoon just to those stripes. And that's, you can already see it blending in. I can just add it in with a bit more. But I do have to say, with these little ferny guys, it does need the bullet tip to colour them. Hey. Okay. The blends are really fun to use, actually. So easy. There we go. All right, so I've got one for inside my card and two for the front of my card. And I think they're all stuck down flat. So I'll just pop one here on that way, one here on this way. We're so grateful to all of you for joining us this weekend for our stamp camp. We really like to share the fun of card making and the excitement of new products with our customers. So we're thrilled that you're here with us. Guess what? I have to use this glue for this guy, but less is more. Another thing you can use for this guy too is, all right, and right underneath there. Okay, and while that's sticking, I'll just fussy cut my thanks so much out. So what do you think? Which one's better, the goldy colours or the pinky colours? They look quite different to me. We each got to choose our colours as demonstrators for this stamp kit. You may have noted, if you know me well, I didn't choose any of the pink colours for my project. So having this bit of pink is a bit of a, ooh, that's a bit brave, Julia. There we go. And I'll use a couple of dimensionals on the back of my thanks so much. And that card is done. There we go. And I'm just going to stick that. I forgot the bit lower, but anyway. These guys, once again, on my mini glue dots, I'm going to line them up. So 1, 2, 3, and then, whoops, I can actually rip that off. Get my take your pick tool, and this time, because there's so much space down here, I'm filling it up with bees. Just tuck my mini glue dots underneath. I like to use my tool because for the best adhesion of your mini glue dots, it's best to avoid touching them because the oils from your hand remove some of the adhesion. There we go. That's my thanks so much card. My next card, once again, move you out of the way, makes use of the super cute window again, and I've done the same thing I did with the diorama card, cut it out and stuck it in the middle of the card for my writing panel. Okay, so let's have a look at this. This was the bit in the kit for the stamping and die cutting, so you do have to be strategic. Make sure you stamp your greeting right on the very edge, 3 lots of flowers, and then the leaf detail. You only have to cut it out once because we're going to snip it in half for the card. But while we're looking at that, I'll just snip my greeting. You mean the world to me. Pop you out of the way. This one's easy to fuzzy cut. I'm going to leave it as one bit just for the minute though, so I don't lose all my bits. Okay, what do I have to do now? I'm going to trim this in half. And the place that I have found that works really well to trim this in half is just here. Okay, so then I've got 2 bits of leafery. I do have to colour in my remaining flower, and I've used soft sea foam, which I love, 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 for the leaves. And a little bit of dark on my soft sea foam. So I use light first and then dark. And then balmy blue for my pretty little flowers, balmy blue flowers. So today, with all of our cards, you've seen a couple of different ways of using colouring techniques for this great stamp set. I hope you have a try with a few of them. Play around with the ideas. So we've used blends, we've used watercolour pencils, watercolouring with ink, Wink of Stella, daubing, sponging, lots of great colouring techniques to inspire you. Okay, and there we go, that's enough fluffing. It'll all blend in. All right, let's get on with the card. Okay, here's my flowers, here's my window, there's my piece for inside my card, and my beautiful paper. And I'm definitely going to use the paper I used, the same as before. Okay, just burnish you. I've made the designer series paper exactly the same size as my card front. I love this Bokeh balmy blue. I think it's so pretty. And it might seem like it's wasting a whole piece when you're only going to see a bit of it, but I think for better quality it looks better. What I am going to do though for this card front is use foam strip. Is it called foam strip? I think it's just called foam strip. One, because it's a little bit taller than dimensionals, so you get a much higher profile when you use it. And 2, because it's nice and skinny, so it gives you a good effect. Okay, across the bottom. And it's quite flexible. Like, this is the stuff you use to do shaker cards and whatnot. Here we go. You might notice I'm avoiding the window because I want to stick things underneath the window there. Okay, right, peel the backings off them. Whoops. And line you up right on the front of my card. There we go. See how it's got a much higher profile? So you can do that. While I've got my foam strip here, I'm going to cut a piece for my greeting. Where are we? It's much easier to cut it when it's still attached to the wax paper. That way you don't get adhesive on your scissors. Oops, just like that. Too long. Okay, I'll leave that aside. Right, now these guys. One is going to get stuck inside. Oh, look, you can see my mistakes on the back. One's just going to get poked underneath there, so it's peeking out. One is going to sit right here on some dimensionals. Actually, I'll just use a couple of bits of this, really. Which way do I want it? That way. And flat as well. So I've got dimensional on my right side, seal on that side, so it stays level. And then these guys are getting stuck on with a spot of glue. Not much, just a few dobs here and there. And you get tucked Oops. There. Blimey. This is why I don't like it. Sticks to me fingers. Makes my life tricky. And this one. Over there. And then this one on the inside of my card for my writing panel and a bit of embellishment. There we are. And last of all, trim up my words. You mean, oops, the world to me. So starting with our to me, work from the bottom up. And I love them being all wonky, like they're moving. There we go. That's, I reckon, looks really cool. And no little bees on this one. I've got a little bit here I don't like. There we are. All right, so there's my cards from today. My standard cards there. And my 2 fun folds. Thank you so much for joining me. Up next will be Tracy with her fun fold. No. Up next will be Sharon with her fun fold to share with you. And after her will be Tracy with hers. See you soon. Bye.